Hey folks, welcome back to Justice Files. Before we get into today's story, tell me in the comments, which country are you watching from? Now buckle up, because this one's got everything. An HOA drunk with power, a barn built with sweat and love, and one simple metal valve that decided the fate of an entire neighborhood. The calm before the storm. For 17 years, my land was my sanctuary. No HOA, no nosy neighbors, no restrictions. Just me, my soil, and the barn I'd built with my own two hands. That barn wasn't just a structure, it was my legacy. Tin roof, cedar walls, concrete footings deep enough to outlast storms. Every board I hammered in reminded me of why I chose this life: independence. Back then, the nearest neighbor was a mile away, silence, except for the sound of crickets at night and the creek flowing down the hill. But peace never lasts long when developers smell money. Enter Hidden Shores HOA. 5 years ago, someone bought the land across the hill and carved it up into a shiny new development called Hidden Shores. Picture-perfect lawns, gated entrances, white fences that never stay white, and of course, an HOA. Their pride and joy? A man-made lake. The thing is, that lake wasn't natural. It was fed directly by runoff that passed through my land. Years back, I'd built a flood control dam to protect my pastures, complete with a valve system. It wasn't for them, it was for me. They sure acted like it was public property. At first, I ignored them. Live and let live, right? But then, Karen showed up. Meet Karen, HOA president. If you've ever dealt with an HOA, you already know her type. Pastel polos, smug smile, and letters written on gold embossed stationery. At first, it was friendly reminders. My barn was, according to her, a visual obstruction and didn't meet community aesthetic standards. Excuse me? Community? Lady, my land isn't even inside your jurisdiction. But she didn't care. She wanted power. And when HOA people want power, they don't stop at letters. The day my barn died. It was a Thursday. I came back from town with a tank of diesel in the truck. And that's when I saw it. Nothing but rubble, tire tracks, bulldozer marks. My barn, gone. I stood there, staring at the dirt. My hands didn't shake, my voice didn't rise. I didn't call the sheriff. I just smiled, because I knew something Karen and her board didn't. They might have destroyed my barn, but I held the handle to their entire lake. First showdown. The very next day, Karen rolled up in her shiny white SUV with HOA president plastered on the side like she was running for office. She walked up to me, visor tilted, pearls fake as her authority, and said, "You should have responded to the notices. We gave you every opportunity." I looked her in the eye. "You know this ain't HOA land, right?" Her lips curled. "It affects property values. Your barn was a visual obstruction." Then she pointed to my dam. "We're also requesting formal easement access to your water for community use." That's when I laughed. "No." She blinked. "Excuse me? That reservoir doesn't belong to you. Neither does the pipe. I control the valve, always have." Her tone sharpened. "You can't just cut off a neighborhood lake. That's vandalism." "Cut off," I grinned. "Not yet." The lake starts dying. See, that night, I walked down to my valve shed. I didn't shut it all away. Not yet. Just a twist. Just enough to make a difference. By morning, the water line dropped an inch. Joggers started whispering. By day 3, docks hung over cracked mud. Ducks waddled through puddles where boats used to be. Hidden Shores was in panic mode. And Karen? She still thought she was in charge. Karen's desperation. She came back with board members and some guy in khakis waving a fake badge that said environmental oversight. "What did you do to the water?" she snapped. "Nothing," I said, calm, "just limiting overflow." She shoved a stack of papers in my face. "This is obstruction. You're withholding water from a regulated zone." "No, ma'am, that's runoff from my land, not a utility, not public property." Her face went red. "We'll file an injunction." I smiled. "Good luck. Make sure your lawyers read the 1993 water agreement my uncle signed with the county. You'll find out exactly where your rights end." And just like that, the color drained from her face. She hadn't known. The valve turns. By Sunday, I'd had enough. I walked to the dam, gripped the crank, and turned it shut. The sound was like finality, a deep metallic groan that echoed across the hill. By noon, the resort lake was nothing but cracked earth, and Hidden Shores, they had no clue what hit them. Collapse of an HOA. Residents were furious, refunds demanded, lawsuits threatened, docks stranded in dirt. Karen stormed down my driveway, screaming into her phone, "The county needs to fix this. They paid for lake access." I leaned against my fence, calm as ever. "Karen, do you even know what a civil contract is?" She fumed. "You're going to prison for this." "No, Karen, I'm not. But you know what you did do? You demolished my barn illegally. And when I refused to bow down, you tried to strong-arm me." I smiled. So I withdrew my voluntary contribution. Then came the final nail. Channel 9 sent a reporter. Cameras rolling, microphones in faces. I didn't say much. I let the survey markers and county agreements do the talking. But Karen, she couldn't help herself. On live TV, she ranted. "People like him come out here, take over our peaceful neighborhoods, then act like we owe them." Yep, she said it, out loud, on camera. That clip went viral overnight. Sponsors dropped Hidden Shores. Families canceled move-ins. A class action lawsuit hit the HOA like a sledgehammer. Karen was voted out within a week. Sweet, silent revenge. The best part? Every time it rains, water still fills behind my dam. Green pastures, flowing creeks, my land thrives. And not a single drop goes to Hidden Shores. Because revenge doesn't always need to be loud. Sometimes it's as quiet as turning a single valve.